Welcome to STMA High School. This is Principal John Reeves. This is an overview of our registration guide. We look forward to working with you. Hi to our 8th grade students and families. My name is John Reeves. I'm the principal here at the high school. We're hopeful that in the near future we can open up our doors, welcome you into our building, and let you know a little bit more about us. But until that time, you are at the time in our school year where it's time to register for classes. I will never say to an 8th grade student that you need to know what it is that you're going to do for the rest of your life. But it is important that you start having conversations with those that surround you, including your families, on what your plans might be, because it's really going to help you navigate the courses that you're going to take at this school. We have a lot of courses to offer that will prepare you for your next steps. But having some ideas in mind of what you might want to do is really important. There's a number of paths that students can follow. Some of you might be looking at going to a 4-year college. That's great. We've got courses that will prepare you for that path. Some of you are going to be more career oriented, and that's important as well. We've got classes that are going to prepare you for your next steps, as you might look at going to a technical school to give you that hands-on instruction that prepares you for a career that you are going to enjoy. Others of you might look for different paths, and so no matter what you're looking to do, we've got it for you, and we want you to think thoughtfully about what courses you're going to take as you prepare for those steps. So take a look at our registration guide, have those conversations, and our counselors are now going to take a little bit of time to explain to you a little bit about this registration handbook as a tool for you to use as you plan your course here at STMA High School.
Welcome, class of 2025, to your high school registration video. I am Ms. Narducci, and I am one of the 4 counselors at the high school here today to talk to you about how you can register for high school and to give you some information about what your day at the high school will be like. Like I said, there are 4 counselors at the high school, and we are divided alphabetically by last name. I have the first half of the alphabet, so students with the last name starting with A through E are on my caseload.
And my name is Megan Pettis, and I have the alphabet F through LA.
I am Valerie Williams, and I have LE through RH.
I'm Kinsey Essler, and I have the end of the alphabet RI through Z.
All right, let's talk about the overview of the whole registration timeline. So hopefully everybody was able to pick up their materials. Yesterday at the high school, we distributed the big registration book. Just a reminder, you'll only get 1 copy of the registration book throughout high school. So we always recommend students put their name at the top of their book and keep that over the years while they register. And then you should have picked up 3 purple registration sheets as well. And that's what we're going to go over today, are those registration sheets and the registration book. So right now, if you don't have your materials in front of you, you might want to pause quick and go grab those materials so you have them. So after we go through our presentation today, you'll want to take all of the materials that you have a discussion with your parents, talk with your current teachers, especially your math teacher can be a really good resource to you. The middle school counselors can be a great resource. They've helped us for many years in this process. And then, of course, you can reach out to your high school counselor as well. We have created Q&A sessions that we hope will be helpful to you. They're on January 11th from 3 to 4 o'clock, and then 6:30 to 7:30. So you'll receive links attached to each counselor according to the alphabet, where you can log in and ask those group questions that you might have. A final registration will be due on Friday, January 15th for students from East and West, and then Tuesday, January 19th for the Catholic school students. So once you have all of your choices that you've made regarding your schedule, you use your purple practice sheet, and then you register online with the directions that we've given you through Student View. We build the master schedule based on the needs that the students have entered into the computer. So we just want to let you know that the master schedule is built that way so that you have an understanding that however many students sign up for studio art, for example, or however many students sign up for Chinese, for example, that's the number of sections that we run. So that's how we plan ahead for the next year. So making schedule changes at a later date can be difficult because those classes are full, or we don't have enough sections offered if you're coming and requesting for a change later on. So we take those choices that you've made, put them into the computer, and then we build our master schedule, and then your each individual schedules based on the choices that you've made. Schedules will be available at our back to school kickoff day. So in the fall, we have a huge kickoff day for all students coming to the high school where they pick up their schedules, they walk around, look for their classes, take their school photos that day, and then they look over their schedules. And if they see anything that's inaccurate or something you were hoping to take and it's not on your schedule, or maybe you signed up for advanced, see one of us on that day so we can get things cleaned up for you. And just to note that the kickoff day is typically that week that fall sports start. So we'll get information to you about that, but we're excited to have kids back in the building for that kickoff day in August. Next, I will talk about what a typical day looks like at the high school. So again, we're very excited to have you back in the building next year and seeing full hallways and working with all of you throughout a regular school day. So the high school is on 3 trimesters, just like the middle school is 3 trimesters. It'll be a little bit different than the middle school in that you'll have 5 classes, trimester 1, and then trimester 2, you'll have 5 brand new classes. So you'll have 5 certain teachers on try 1, 5 brand new teachers try 2, and then try 3, you'll have a whole new set of classes and teachers as well. So there's not any sort of a rotating day schedule at the high school, unless you're a band and choir kid, then they go every other day. But for the majority of students, whole new sets of classes each trimester, with the exception of homeroom. Homeroom meets every single day for the first 5 minutes. So the school day is 8:30 to 3:20 with 6 minutes passing time in between those classes, and then 5 minutes in the morning with homeroom. And then classes are either 62 minutes or 68 minutes, depending on what day it is. We do have something called SNAP built into our schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's a 25-minute student needs activity period, we call it. And you can work on anything academic that you need to during that time. Maybe you need to meet with a small group because you're working on a lab project for science, or maybe you need to make up a quiz that you missed earlier in the week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, that SNAP time is for you to work on something academic. And when that happens, then classes are 62 minutes on those days. And then the days that we do not have SNAP, then the classes run for 68 minutes.
All right, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about starting your journey to an STMA diploma. At the high school, you are going to need to meet 3 specific requirements in order to earn your STMA diploma in the year 2025. And those three things are to complete 55 credits, meet the college and career readiness standards set forth by the state of Minnesota, which changes per graduation year, but we will always communicate those and provide you an opportunity to meet that, whatever it might be for your class. And then the completion of 16 total community service hours over the 4 years you're at the high school. And that is something that you work directly with your homeroom advisor on closely once you get to the high school to maintain and monitor and see how many community service hours you have earned. Next, I'm just going to talk a little bit more specifically about those 55 credits. So at the high school, you should have gotten a purple sheet that looks like this. Here's one on the screen when you picked up your material. So if you want to grab that and reference it now, it might be helpful. At the high school, those 55 credits can't just be 55 random credits. So there are a lot of core classes you have to take. This sheet is really nice. We call it the 4-year plan. It lays out each required course per year. So if you want to just take a look with me at 9th grade, you're going to see your required credits of 9th grade English, human geography, early American history, some kind of math for 2 credits at least, physical science for 2 credits, health 1, PE 9, and then a financial and computer essentials. So if you follow that over, you're going to see that 10th grade, there's a new set of required courses, 11th and 12th and so on. So that breaks it down to, 8 required credits in English, 8 in social studies, 6 in math, 6 in science, 2 in health, 2 in phys ed, and then your 22 elective credits. You might also notice something is that you have the opportunity to earn 15 credits per year, which would then, if you did the math, equal 60 credits. So you have an opportunity to earn 60, but you are only required to have 55 for graduation. So that's just kind of a built-in cushion for students in hard times, or if you were to break your leg and you can't finish your PE credit, or if you were to not pass a class. So that's kind of the breakdown. One other thing I'd like to point out is if you look at, English, for instance, you have it for 2 trimesters. And so at the high school, like Ms. Pettis mentioned, you're going to have classes, maybe try 1 and try 3 that are different. So you might have an English class try 1 and then again try 3. And 2 credits of a course is actually equivalent to a whole year of curriculum. And so at the high school, you will not have English all 3 trimesters, or you might not have math all 3 trimesters, science. And so that is a change for some people. So just note that you won't have classes all 3 trimesters, and you'll see some example schedules in the future slide that kind of show you how that ends up shaking out amongst your credits. One other thing I'll say about that sheet was that I think that's a really helpful sheet to use and plan out your classes as you go through high school. So you're actually going to receive this sheet each year in your homeroom when we do registration. And so if you want to go through the registration book now and plan out all 4 years, it's really helpful because you can look at future classes and see what prerequisites you might need to get to that higher level math or higher level Spanish course or whatever it might be, and plan that out. So we have some kids who fill this out the night they get it every year and have the plan all set forth for themselves. And obviously it deviates sometimes, but it is a nice guide for you and your family to plan that 4 years together. One thing you might note that was not mentioned in the graduation requirements was world language. And that is because we do not require world language at STMA to graduate. So we do offer 4 years of Spanish and Chinese at varying levels. However, that is not a graduation requirement in any way. I think a lot of times it gets confused because people think they need it to graduate, but really what it is it's a college admissions guideline that a lot of 4-year colleges require 2 years of the same foreign language for admission. So if you are a 4-year college-bound student and you're thinking that you want to take a foreign language, we offer Spanish and Chinese. That also does not mean you need to start taking it your freshman year. You can take that, sophomore year or start your junior year to complete those 2 years.
Okay, so Ms. Narducci touched a little bit on higher level courses, and there are some advanced classes you can take your freshman year. So I'm going to go over those and talk about who should take those and if you would qualify. So starting with advanced English. If you are a student that really excels in English and likes reading and writing and wants to challenge yourself, then when you register for classes, you should sign up for advanced English. I'm going to skip over math because on the next slide, there's much more detail. Moving on to physical science, though, to take advanced level physical science, you have to be enrolled in advanced math your freshman year. So just remember that you can take physical science if you are in advanced math. There will be opportunities the same for English as well. If you don't take advanced your freshman year, there are options to take advanced science and advanced English later on in your high school career. So don't think just because you don't sign up for your freshman year that you're out. Then moving on to Spanish, that class is going to be for students that have ambitions to reach AP level during their high school. And so it is a fast-paced course. And those are for students that are looking to get to that advanced placement class their senior year. But like Ms. Narducci said, Spanish or Chinese are not required. So if you are just trying to get your feet wet in Spanish, sign up for regular Spanish or put it off until sophomore year. Totally fine. And then Project Lead the Way is on there. It's not necessarily an advanced course, but it is the first time that students have the opportunity to earn college credit. And Project Lead the Way courses are for students that have an interest in engineering and that have a strong science and math grades and interest. And so that would be a start to get kind of experience in the engineering field and things like that. So moving on to math, this is what I talked about a little bit. So I want to try to make this clear. You did receive in your pickup materials a detailed letter on how this all breaks down, but I like this visual, and so we will try to make this simple as possible. So let's just start with regular. Algebra 1.5 is required for freshmen to graduate from high school. And so the typical math
pathway would be that students would take 2 trimesters of Algebra 1.5. And so that would be for the majority of students registering for classes will sign up for Algebra 1.5 and fill in the 2 boxes on your registration sheet. Moving to the other options. So year-long is for students that may struggle a little bit in math. And so the year-long version is the exact same curriculum of Algebra 1.5, but it's stretched out over an entire year. And the reason for that is it gives students more time in class with their teacher to ask questions while they're doing their homework. And also it spreads the pace out, so it's a little bit slower, so there's more time to address concerns along the way. But it is, again, the same class, it's just spread out over 3 trimesters. The next option is self-advance. So if you are really good at math, but you just haven't been in advanced math at the middle school level, you have the opportunity to start self-advancing. And what that does is gets you ready to take advanced level, higher level math classes your junior and senior year. So what this would do is you would take Algebra 1.5, the required classes, 2 trimesters, your freshman year, and you would take the first half of geometry that typically students would take their sophomore year. And that sets you up to complete your graduation required classes by the end of your sophomore year. What we do want to say is this is not for students that are just trying to get all their graduation requirements done early. This is set up for students that want to be able to take those higher level math classes later. Then the last track is for advanced students, and this one is a little bit more self-explanatory because if you haven't been in advanced math at the middle school, you should not be selecting advanced math at the high school. The way the curriculum lines up, everything is in the order and you are ready and I don't know the right word I'm looking for, ready to set up for the next level. And so students in advanced math at the middle school can sign up for advanced math at the high school. And so that's kind of a little snapshot at the math flow or pathways. I do want to say it is very important to kind of talk to your teacher, think about yourself, and talk to your parents as far as making these decisions and even about the advanced level decisions as well. So these level changes of the classes that you are required to take, just know that you do some self-talk or some self-thinking of how much do I want to challenge myself? Where do my strengths lie? How well do I handle stress? Talking to your parents, talking to your teachers to make a collaborative decision to best determine where you should be and registering for classes.
And then I'll just add really quick, ultimately, the math department, they send us your grades at the end of 8th grade. And then we look at your final grades, test scores, and then we will place you accordingly up at the high school for math.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, so the rest of this information can be found also in your registration book that was handed out to you yesterday. And this book really holds a bunch of information for all grade levels, grade 9 through 12. So you can really look ahead and not just focus on 9th grade, but if you're curious about other classes that we offer outside of 9th grade, it can all be found in that book. So again, that book includes graduation requirements, different course program offerings such as CIS classes, AP classes, Right Tech classes. So you can really dive into that on your own time and kind of look through it. Some things we do want to point out in there is, as you can see on this slide, we have an English description. So we have English 9A and English 9B. What that means is that is a 2-trimester course. 9A needs to be offered first. So you need to take that first before you take the 9B course. You will see that it has 2 course numbers. So right below that, that says it is 2 credits. Versus the Health only has 1 course number, and that means that it's only worth 1 credit. So that means it is 1 trimester versus the 2 trimesters. Again, within here, you can find the course descriptions. As you're looking at your registration sheet, you might think, gosh, I'm really interested in studio art and drawing and painting, but I don't know which one to take. Go ahead, refer to your registration book. read the descriptions and you'll have a better understanding what the difference is between those courses. So hopefully that serves as a very good guide for you in registering for the classes and finding the classes that you're interested in. One other thing, prerequisite, just kind of be mindful of that. In some cases, there is a class that you need to take before you take the second higher level class. So in this case, on the slide, you will see that there's Health 2 as an option, but ninth graders cannot register for that because you have to have the prerequisite of Health 1 first. So just some things to be mindful of as you're searching through the book. Not every class is offered for ninth grade. But what is helpful is on your course registration sheet on this side, really lists only the classes that ninth graders can take. So we really pull all that information from the registration book, put it in this column to really streamline it for you and make it hopefully easier for you to pick your elective choices. And so the course registration sheet, this is the final project. Actually, from all this information that we're giving you, this here is how you will register for your classes. We will be sending other information about that on how you will enter your classes in online, but this is the sheet that you and your family need to be working on and be prepared to enter. It has all the course numbers that you need and the classes that you have. We want to make sure that you read the bullet points at the bottom. You need to register for 15 classes plus 3 alternate choices. And one other thing is that you can only put 1 course number per box. And I'll show you a few examples here in a second. So you'll register for 15 classes. If you take a look on the right-hand side of this slide, you will see a student's actual schedule. So you will see that we're a 5-period day. There's 5 classes per trimester. And you will see that 2 trimesters is equal to 1 year. So this student here has physical science trimester 2, and then not again until trimester 3. They will not have physical science trimester 1 because 2 tries is again equal to 1 year. The next few slides just show some examples of some of the math options, some of the choices that the other counselors have talked to you about. So this right here is an example of an advanced math student and fitting in band and choir. You will want to note if you're going to take an advanced course, you need to make sure that you enter in the advanced course number. In this section, we just highlighted it for this student. But again, here's an example of an advanced math student taking band and choir. The next sheet is of a student taking Algebra 1.5 year long, along with 3 other electives. And the last example that we have for you is a student taking the self-accelerated math option. So 2 trimesters of math, dropping down the geometry A down at the bottom, but then also this student chose that they didn't need to take Health 1, they wanted to fit in a different elective. So that would be how you would move health back to your sophomore year. So hopefully you can reference these back when you are registering for your classes. If you have questions, these are a lot of the examples that we get asked on. So hopefully this visual will help you have a successful registration. If you're a student that is looking at some different online options, what I really want to first point out is on the back of that registration sheet is a bunch of different information on our online course options. So really first, read through this first, but if you are a student that is looking at taking an online supplemental class, if you're a student that can't fit in all of your classes that you want to in 9th grade, there are summer school options to do that as a route. So again, refer to that letter and then reach out to a counselor if you have questions on unique situations that you might be running into, and we can help you work through those. And as always, we like to see students get connected. So on this slide here, we just put a bunch of different sports, extracurricular activities. Really, we want you to feel a part of the school and get involved, as a lot of times when kids make connections, they enjoy school more, they feel more successful. And so there's a variety of different opportunities for you to do that at the high school. So it's exciting time for everyone. to be participating.
Okay, so what are the next steps in the registration process? Registration will be entered online. So I think we talked about that earlier, but we will open the registration window for you on Friday, January 8th, and you will have until January 15th to enter that registration information into the online portal, which is in Student View. So you also received today a separate link with an online tutorial on how to enter those course requests into Student View. So you're going to need to make sure that you have access to your own Student View account to do so. You can't do it through a Parent View account. It needs to be the student's individual account. So hopefully you guys all have access to that already. Please, we invite you to attend the optional Q&A sessions on Monday, January 11th from 3 to 4 or 6:30 to 7:30. If you have questions that you want answered, or please do reach out with individual unique questions to any of our email addresses below. We are happy to help and we are here to do so. All right, well, welcome class of 2025. We're excited to have you.